Hi, I'm Georgia, Marketing Coach for Your Client Matters. Today I'll be sharing with you the secrets to build a successful sales process for business growth. I've been with YCM for just under 3 years now, and during my time here I've personally seen many brokers build their businesses by implementing the ideas and strategies that YCM has been teaching for nearly 2 decades. I'm now fortunate enough to have learned all these secrets in my fairly short time at Your Client Matters, so trust me, they are not that hard. And I'm now the head marketing coach, helping brokers every single day learn how to find more clients, teach them how to qualify them into real business, and help them grow their business by implementing some simple systems that allow massive business growth with very little effort. Now, of course, marketing and the finance industry has changed over the last 15 to 20 years, but so has YCM. We constantly review our results of the products and systems to initiate change, often even before it's required. So YCM was the first and is still the leading marketing experts in the finance industry and has been since 2004. So for those who have not had any exposure to Your Client Matters, I'll give you a quick overview of the company behind the secrets today. The business was established in 2004, and we have been working with mortgage and finance brokers since then, helping them build their business through our unique products, strategies, and specialised training. We have helped hundreds of brokers grow their business from settling 1 or 2 loans a month to over 5, and some brokers are even generating up to 20 deals or more each month. So no matter what the business objectives you may have, YCM can usually help. So typically when brokers contact us, they have one or more of the following challenges. The first one being that most only have one method of generating leads, and that is through word of mouth. And they are struggling to obtain new leads on a consistent basis from outside their existing client base. So they come to us looking for new ideas to generate more leads. The second reason brokers typically engage with us when they do have leads from sources other than word of mouth referrals, they need help. They need help with qualifying them, converting them into business, staying in touch with them to keep their clients warm and their business top of mind, and they also need help with identifying who needs to be called first and how to engage their interest. Some brokers just want help to retain their clients and stop them from going directly to the bank or to the lender where you first put their loan. And while most just want help to accelerate their business growth. So have a think about whether you have faced any of these challenges within your business. As most businesses can be quite different, we do realise that not one approach fits all. Our brokers can be one-man bands or small businesses with a few staff. However, many brokers who use our services are already well established and have a team in place and are just looking for that one system that looks after their lead generation, client communication, and client education, all from that one place. So whatever brought you here today, I am confident that we will have something special to share with you. Today's webinar is intended to outline our full broker sales process and show you how we have helped many other businesses, just like yours, develop strategies and processes to achieve their business objectives. So at the end of this webinar, typically one of 2 things will happen. You will want to book in for a personal marketing consultation with one of our specialists to see whether YCM can help your business or not. And if so, you will be given the opportunity to book into our diaries at the end of the webinar. Or the strategies are not suitable for your business, so you'll join us for our next webinar. So let's get started. But before we jump into the strategies and the processes, let's have a think about why we have the main challenge of inconsistent and irregular lead generation. We like to call this the sales roller coaster. I'm sure you all experience the highs and the lows of the sales roller coaster, where you'll have a month or 2 of lots of business, typically followed by a month or 2 of little to no business. And then you start wondering where on earth your next client is going to come from. But have you ever stopped and wondered why this occurs? Well, we think that when you're really busy dealing with and settling your current business, that you don't have the time to generate the next month of clients until you have settled the business with your current clients. So it's a catch-22 really, isn't it? Ideally, you need to be identifying the next month of clients while still settling business with your current clients. So we understand that this makes natural sense, but why don't most businesses do it? We have identified 3 main reasons. So we do the activity we need to generate new leads, and then we get so busy servicing these new clients that we stop doing that lead generation activity. So we find ourselves in a very good and busy month, then followed by a slow month. So then it takes a month of activity to get busy again, and then the cycle repeats. The second reason is because while we are focusing on the new clients, we are forgetting about nurturing the existing clients, and that can lead to drop off and many missed opportunities. But the main reason we find is that typically many brokers do not have an effective method of generating and qualifying new leads that can be dealt with in a time-efficient manner and on a regular basis. So when you do implement an effective and efficient method, it can take you as little as a few hours each week to maintain it, leaving the rest of the week to get down to business and deliver your service. So the key to growing your business is having a system that generates new leads more than word of mouth and more than just one method, and retains and educates your older and existing clients to re-engage with you, not their lender, when their circumstances change. I will now dissect the rest of this webinar into 2 parts. I'll step through the process of finding new clients, so acquiring new leads, identifying your prospects, and the data capture mechanism to do so, and also how to nurture through to settlement. Then the second part of this webinar will be discussing about retaining and re-engaging your existing client database.
So no doubt you would have seen many sales funnels before, and while all vary slightly, their purpose all remains the same. They map the various stages of a prospect will follow from being first identified until the time business is closed with them. So the key elements of this process are acquire, capture, engage, qualify, and close. So we will now walk through the objectives and the challenges of each stage in greater detail.
So having worked with hundreds of brokers over the years, we'll probably say about 90% of them tell us that their main lead generation strategy is word of mouth. So let's look at the real percentage rates of generating leads like this. So I would like you to do a quick exercise with me. So find a piece of paper and a pen and draw a line across the page for me. Go on, this is really important. So now, below the line, I want you to write down how many clients you currently have. Then above the line, write the number of existing clients that refer business to you every single year. So divide the top by the bottom and you'll get your word of mouth referral rate. So YCM has done this exercise for more than 16 years with brokers, and we always get the same percentage. So I'm guessing it's between 1 to 5%. Am I right? So if this is correct for you, then you are relying on 5% of your clients to generate 100% of your business. Now, 1, that is hard work. And 2, what a huge opportunity to get more business out of your existing clients when you have a proper client referral strategy in place. So it is our belief that you need to be utilising a number of different lead generation strategies and not be placing all your eggs in one basket. Relying only on one strategy is high risk, as there may come a day when your one strategy is no longer available to you. YCM believes that it makes sense to diversify your lead generation channels across many different platforms as you can manage, until you reach the required amount of business to achieve your business goals. So here are the various channels to you as a broker. So there's word of mouth, referral partnerships, events, internet and online, social media, and advertising. So word of mouth. It goes without saying it is the best lead generation for the smallest amount of effort. And as we saw earlier, you can get about a 5% referral rate from your existing client base without much effort. So imagine if you had a strategy that could double your client referrals. What would that do for your business? So although a great lead generation strategy, we have not met a broker yet that we cannot improve their word of mouth referral rates. And there are many more others to consider. So if you get one referral each month from your existing clients, for those who want to accelerate your business, how does getting 20 leads a month from your accountant, or the real estate agent, or the gym, or even your local coffee shop? So referral partnerships would have to be one of our favourite and most powerful lead generation strategies that we teach. So when you partner with like-minded complementary businesses, you can gain access to a large number of potential clients who are most likely in need of your service. And you can do it legally without breaking any spam rules. Again, why would most referral partnerships don't work is because there is no system behind the method. So once you learn how to select a referral partner, how to approach them to work with you, what systems you need to put in place, and how to track and measure the results, and also how to report back to your referral partner, the leads will flood in. Yes, even in COVID. So events. Previously and hopefully perhaps soon, this would include attendance at fetes and community festivals, workshops and seminars, and sporting events. And these events do provide great access to the local community on the day. However, if this is not a recurring event and where attendance is held on a regular basis, this is not considered as a recurring source of new leads. Understandably, attendance at events is a bit difficult at the moment. So online events that you can host include webinars, Facebook Lives, LinkedIn, streamed events, and even hosting your own virtual conference. So having the right strategy, promotion, and system, online events are the new normal. So embrace the change. Now, internet. There is no longer an excuse to not have a good digital footprint and presence. Now more than ever, it is important to increase your visibility online, and you must be mobile friendly. So start with improving your search results. Make sure you have a great social media presence and increase your followers. So these strategies may include search engine optimization, also known as SEO, and Google AdWords. Now I'm sure you're all familiar with social media, and there are an increasing number of platforms available to you to regularly engage your followers. So each of these channels tend to attract a different demographic, and accordingly, you need to ensure that your message is consistent with your target audience, with the objective of increasing your reach beyond those that are already following you. So popular platforms for brokers are Facebook, LinkedIn, and Instagram. There are marketing and advertising strategies with most social media platforms now that you should be utilising if suited to your business. Advertising has historically been a channel primarily utilised for brand awareness or the promotion of an offer or a sale. To be successful, you do need to extend the use beyond these historical uses. So try establishing a presence within a local paper, a magazine, or at your sporting club. Other but more expensive forms of advertising include TV, radio, Facebook, and social media ads. Often at YCM, we find that we can help most brokers grow their business without expensive advertising campaigns and budgets. Every business does have its own unique characteristics, and accordingly, there is no one-size-fits-all lead generation strategy to grow your business. So when determining a strategy to grow your business, you will need to consider the relationships and resources available to your business to determine the channel that is suitable and most likely going to deliver you success. Select your channel for your acquisition strategy. For example, is it one of those that we just discussed? For example, word of mouth, referral partnership, online, or social media. Then once one has been perfected, you can then select another, and then another, and then another. So consider your target audience and how you are likely to attract them to your business. So you might want to work with first-time buyers or perhaps just investors. So this will involve creating a reason for them to take action. And what are you going to give away in return for their contact details? So we generally refer to this as your lead magnet. The reason will need to be compelling. So we have found that good quality education relevant to your target audience will create this interest. A lead magnet is typically something of value that people will be prepared to exchange their contact details for. So for example, an ebook, a topic sheet, or information guide, that sort of thing, that I'm sure you've all downloaded something on the internet and had to leave your email address. So your lead magnet will be a first-time buyer booklet, or investors booklet, or even could be a property inspection or moving checklist. So ensure there is a strong lead capture mechanism in place to ensure you obtain your prospect's detail to make your time following up productive. So you will need an online form or printed survey for offline methods to capture data so you can remain in contact with them after the download or the handout. The next step is to determine how to best deliver your lead magnet in the most effective and efficient way. And if you don't have the time or the skills to do this yourself, do you know someone who could do this for you? So before you do commence your lead generation activity, ensure you have mapped out the prospect's future and subsequent journey with you. This is known as their nurture sequence. After all, you have put the time and the effort into attracting a prospect, and the last thing you want to do is to let them slip away. So we find that most people can generate the leads, but it is the process of staying in touch and keeping them engaged after the first follow-up that is generally missed.
So after you have generated a list of prospects, you will then need to follow up with these leads as soon as possible. Yep, you will need to pick up that phone and give them a call. So a little tip, make sure you have asked for their mobile number on the data capture form. Not even social media experts get this one right. So for the broking business, you will need a name, email address, and a mobile number. Trying to convert only by email is doing it the hard way. So have you ever noticed that after a lead generation exercise, only a very small proportion of these prospects need or think they need your assistance immediately? So while others may not require your services for 3 to 6 months or even a few years, some will never use your service, and that doesn't mean you cut them from your list. We have a saying here at YCM, everyone knows someone in a 12-month period who needs a loan. And sometimes your best referrers are those that have never done business with you, so keep them on your prospect list. So what do we see most businesses do? Well, after that initial one follow-up call, they go looking for new prospects who need your services immediately. This is effectively burning the rest of your leads that you have gained. You're in effect disregarding prospects that have already expressed interest within your services. So surely there must be a better way. Well, there is. So we need to capture the prospect's details within a database management system so then you can continue to engage them on a regular basis until they require your services. So there are many examples of database management systems, and that includes your aggregators, CRM system, or other third-party platforms like our own.
So knowing when a prospect is ready to utilise your services can be difficult. And it would be nice to believe that our clients know who and when to call at the appropriate time that they require our services. However, we all know that reality tells a different story. So how do you easily work out those clients who require your assistance versus those that do not? And how do we work that out without the time-consuming process of calling all of them to find out? So what you need is more information for them to request as a way of identifying those who are getting close to making a decision. Our experience has shown that client education delivered on a regular basis is the key to staying relevant and top of mind when the need arises. So why education? Well, it demonstrates your professionalism and knowledge. It shows you have an ability to add value, and importantly, it is most likely going to trigger your prospect into taking action if you have them leaving wanting more information from you. So we work on the principle that no one wakes up one day thinking that they absolutely need to call their broker. Therefore, when engaging with your clients, you need to trigger their thoughts and challenge their thinking about their own financial situation that compels them to want to take action. Now, these triggers generally occur around life events. So for example, getting married, buying a first home, an expanding family requiring more room, paying off a car loan, and many more that you need to cover off all target audiences. So this regular engagement process will over time help establish a relationship with the prospect and trigger them into taking action with the right information. So we see a lot of industry campaigns, some with great information, but think that their call to action is contact the office if you need finance. So qualify. As I just mentioned, we do see a large number of people within the industry engaging with their prospects, mainly through email, which is a fantastic start. However, in the majority of instances, they are heavily reliant on the client contacting them in the event that they are triggered. And to be realistic, we know the probability of the client contacting them is extremely low, regardless of the quality of engagement, and could have realistically been done a lot sooner. So 3 questions still remain. Who do I call? When do I call? And what on earth do I speak to them about? You therefore need a process to identify those clients that you have triggered through your marketing campaigns. So now we move into the qualifying stage. And the process starts when your prospect reaches out. Your education not only needs to be compelling for them to take action, but it also needs to leave them wanting to know more with a desire to request these details from you. You then need to make it easy for them to take the next step, to obtain this additional information. And this additional information may be in the form of a downloadable fact sheet, booklet, or something similar. So importantly, when they request this information, they are in effect calling themselves out to you. So in the event that they do not call you, that you may call them. So anyone reaching out for more information will likely mean that they're looking to build their knowledge and take action in the particular area that you have highlighted in the near future. Having a process to identify those that have called themselves out is important for qualifying prospects and is missing in most nurture campaigns. So if you can identify those lists of prospects who have requested the additional information, you can then prioritise who to call, and you'll already know what to talk to them about. So now with the knowledge of who to call and what to talk to them about, you are in the best possible position to potentially deliver your services to the prospect. Your call to the prospect can focus on the information that you have provided them. So did it assist them with their individual circumstance? Can you clarify any information for them? And do they require additional information from you? This will create the opportunity for you to explore the individual circumstances and help you determine if they immediately require your services or not. And it is hoped that the result of the call is an organised meeting that will lead them to utilising your services. After all, you have now been engaging with them and will have demonstrated your professionalism and knowledge, and all that is left to do is now deliver your service. So while you have just delivered your service, it is important to continue the process. Depending on which study you do believe in, acquiring a new customer can cost you anywhere from 7 to 25 times more than retaining an existing one. So regardless of who is correct, there is an overwhelming consensus that it is far cheaper to retain an existing client than it is to attract a new one. So with borrowers likely to move into a new loan every 3 to 5 years, even more in the current environment, it is important to continue to service existing clients and not solely focus on attracting new clients. So remember, if you're not staying in touch with them, their new lender sure is. And since COVID, they're actually getting better at it. So you want to avoid that when the time comes around for a refinance or they move into their next loan, to avoid them going directly to the bank or to utilise someone else's service. Accordingly, you need to continue engaging and qualifying until the opportunity arises to again assist those who are now your clients. So I'm sure you've all experienced losing some trail income, and when you've followed up with that client, they went directly to the lender because they didn't want to bother you. So do you think you could have possibly been burning leads or even missing out on opportunities? It would be fair to say that every business has experienced this, and not intentionally. Have you ever experienced a lack of response after your initial phone call with a prospect and you're finding that it's so hard to get hold of them? Then you know exactly what I'm talking about. This could be because people generally love buying but hate being sold to. And what do I mean by this? Well, have you ever walked into a car yard with the intention of buying a new car, and the salesperson approaches you to see if you need help, and your response is, "No thanks, I'm just looking around"? Well, it's not that you're just looking, it's that you want to look for the car that you want to buy. So we've already discussed that majority of prospects that you have identified through lead generations are most likely not in an immediate position to utilise your services. Research suggests that less than 2% of prospects generated online are actually ready to buy. So if you're trying to sell your services or push them into an appointment with you in an effort to get them to utilise your services immediately and you're not having success, it's probably because they're not buying from you just yet. So this could lead to the prospect being burnt and disengaging, and you will lose the opportunity to provide your services at a later point in time. Therefore, we need to engage our clients in a non-confrontable means, allowing them to engage with us at the appropriate time. So you need to have a strategy to understand where the prospect is in the sales funnel and how to move them into the next stage. So on another note, we hear from brokers who have purchased leads and tell us that they are all tire kickers and a waste of time. When in fact, if they were put onto a nurturing sequence, then the probability of them contacting you in the future increases and improves your conversion. So calling a new prospect once is not enough to call them a tire kicker and never to follow up with them again. So at YCM, we encourage that you keep all your prospects on your marketing list until they do one of two things. and that is either 1, they use your service, or 2, they opt out. Having a look at the opposite of this. So when Dina, our Managing Director, tells us about her experience with several mortgage brokers, she would say in fact most brokers do not ever follow her up and actually leave business on the table because most brokers are too polite and do not want to push people into a loan. Only to find out later that because of the lack of follow-up, they went elsewhere or back to the lender where you put them. And that's a result of lack of follow by being too polite. There certainly needs to be a balance and a system to help you manage this awkward stage of the funnel. So at each stage of the sales process, you do need to understand the activity that you are undertaking. So at the acquiring stage, you're selling your professionalism, knowledge and understanding of their current situation. It may be well that their current situation requires your services immediately. However, if it does not, you are highlighting the benefits of staying in touch through your regular engagement process and adding them to your prospect database. During the engagement process, you're reinforcing your knowledge and hoping to trigger their thoughts around financial decisions that prompt the need for them to use your services. The qualifying stage is when you are calling the prospect from a qualification process and discussing the matters that they have indicated an interest in. And the closing stage. You've now built your reputation, identified a trigger through qualification, and you are now ready to call them to assist them with their individual circumstances in a safe and non-confrontable way. Then they go on to your nurture sequence to retain them as your client and re-engage with them for additional business when the time is right. So we have developed this infographic to represent the process that we have run through today and how YCM works with brokers to achieve the business growth or maintenance that they are wanting. We feel there are significant differences with our model to most others. So not only does it recognise the need to constantly identify new business, as shown in the top section of this infographic with our lead strategies, it also highlights the need to stay in touch with our existing clients who have already done business with you, particularly as brokers, as you guys obtain a proportion of your income through the trail. You are not likely to see this in other models. It is important to note that the engagement and qualifying activities to be deployed for prospects and existing clients do not need to be any different. They are both intended to determine who has an immediate need for your services and identify those who do not. So you can focus your time and energy into those prospects and existing clients that are likely to do business with you sooner. So knowing all the various stages, we then need to consider what components do we need to implement to deliver your outcomes within your business. So we have a broker sales process that identifies the journey that we want our prospects and clients to take. So we understand that we both need products and strategies. Okay, so let's look at the model in a little more detail. On the left, you have all of the lead acquisition strategies and products. So I'm going to pick a strategic partnership. On the right, we have all of the engagement and qualification strategies and products. So for example, if I wanted to implement the referral partnership, I would include the print magazine and the competition. So with the utilisation of a system that collates all of the activities that our prospects and clients have undertaken, we can now see a complete history of those clients that have called themselves out to us. We are now in a position to know who to call and what to speak about. And of course, to close the new business.
So as you are already aware, YCM provides a diverse range of integrated marketing strategies along with our products, systems and our one-on-one support for long-term business growth. We do strongly believe that a product without a strategy is just a product. So let's think about that for a moment. A product without a strategy, for example, without having a specific outcome in mind, is just that, a product. However, a product with a strategy and a defined expected outcome becomes a system. And it is a system, not a product. that will generate new and consistent long-term business success. And if you add some tracking and measuring to that system, you will be able to work out your return on investment and whether you should continue investing in it or not. The YCM system allows you to track and measure your success of all the strategies that we provide, and that's how we can measure the success of the program with you. The YCM marketing system generates more than business and success for our brokers because of the strategies behind the products. In fact, we generate up to 30,000 leads for our brokers each year. So that's what makes YCM different. So perhaps I can give you a very simple example of what I mean about a product without a strategy in comparison with a strategy. So most businesses understand the most common and cost-effective way to communicate to clients is through email marketing. And most marketing providers, however, think that simply sending an email blast out to your clients will generate business for you. That is only a small piece of the marketing puzzle. The email blast is the product here. And when you send emails to your clients, you are hoping that the product will perform two things for you. The first one being engage and retain your existing clients, and the second one being potentially acquiring new business. Email campaigns are an absolutely important and essential part of client retention and communication process. However, most email campaigns fail at acquiring new business because there is no strategy behind the email campaign. It is just that, an email. So your email campaign may include a call to action, but typically we see the call to action looking something along the lines of, please call the office if you want to refinance your loan. So while this is better than nothing, your calls to action are actually more important than the campaign itself. So the key elements that differentiate the YCM email campaign and communication amongst others is that not only does it educate and retain your existing clients by staying in touch, you're also engaging with them through our engagement strategy, and we qualified them for you through our qualification strategy. So in the conjunction to the above, the YCM program also has a referral system incorporated that acquires new leads outside of your database. So our email product is actually a regular system of education, engagement, qualification, and it is also a referral tool. So with the objective to generate new business for you every single month. And well, that is the difference between a product and a system. And well, that is the difference I hope that I've shared with you today. So in summary for today, and to encourage your business growth success, we do want to leave you with some questions to ask yourself. So is your business at the scale you would like it to be? That is, are you running enough business? And if not, then it's probably worth having a chat with us. And if you are running enough business, but you want to do so with less effort, then that's another reason that you may want to speak with us as well. Or if you're happy with the level of business and you don't see the need to make any improvements, then perhaps we're not a good fit for you, and that's okay. We may see you again on our future webinars. So if you do see some holes in your sales model, then we would like to ask you to consider what is going to be involved in achieving the results that you are wanting, and what are you personally prepared to do, and who is going to help you to start achieving this growth? Because most of us do need help when it comes to growing our business. So please, don't let your sales process become overwhelming or let it slip to the bottom of your to-do list or sit in the too hard basket. I strongly encourage you to book in for a 45-minute strategy session with one of our marketing consults. We acknowledge that every business has its own unique characteristics, and therefore there is no one-size-fits-all process to grow your business. We do recognise that your time is important. So if within the first 15 minutes of your consultation, we find that we are not a good fit for each other, we will let you know, or you can let us know. So after this webinar, we will send you a survey to understand where you are currently at within your business, and also include our diary link so you can book in for an appointment straight away. Alternatively, feel free to call the office and we can book you in as well. We have over 100 on the webinar today, so we do encourage you to jump into our diary sooner rather than later. There will be no hard sales pitch, and we are simply offering you the opportunity to see if we should be working together or not. So if so, then we will discuss what that looks like and then what is involved. And if not, no hard feelings. At least we've taken the time and the opportunity to explore if there is anything missing in your funnel. So I really appreciate you taking the time out of your day to join me online today. We hope you've received great value from everything we have covered. We look forward to chatting with you soon.